Hey, welcome to Half the Battle. Today we'll be looking at Aero. But before we do, since I'm still going alphabetically here, sorry Zartan, I need to briefly mention the Action Team from 1994. This team was a collection of 5 different figures that paid homage to the original 12-inch line of toys. As such, they aren't part of the regular Real American Hero team, so I don't really consider them part of the regular toy line. In fact, they don't even have names. Their file cards only speak of, well, their honor, how happy they are at being allowed to join the G.I. Joe team, and how awesome the G.I. Joes are, and so forth. Now, this sounds a lot like, they are tooting their own horns. But hey, it's the 30th anniversary of G.I. Joe, the original toy line, so I'm gonna let it slide. As an aside, this year is the 30th anniversary of the Real American Hero line. Damn it, now I feel old. The figures are Action Marine, Action Pilot, Action Sailor, Action Soldier, and Action Pilot Astronaut. This isn't the original astronaut figure, by the way. It's a repaint they used for comic book packs that came out years and years later. I sadly don't have the original, but this gives you an idea of what he looks like. They are, as far as I can tell, a fairly faithful representation of their counterpart toys from years gone by. With the exception of the astronaut, who is only available in a box set, they were released in clamshell boxes with a blurb on the inside giving details of the toy the figure is based on. My favorite of the bunch is the soldier, since I've always had a soft spot for the uniform that resembles the World War II era soldier. A few years later, they were re-released, kind of. They were repainted and sold as keychains, though still fully articulated. I removed the keychains themselves because, well, I don't want my figures to look silly. Yeah, that's working out great for me, by the way. Well, that's about enough of them, so let's move on to the Aero. Released in 1989, Cobra's ranks were joined by Zorro. I'm sorry, that's all I can see when I'm looking at him. Sure, he has a goatee, but that just makes him evil Zorro to me. All his body parts are original, something I can always appreciate. He only comes with one accessory, his helmet, probably because he already came with an aircraft. This thing bothers me for 2 reasons. First, the lack of any paint on it. The whole thing is one color. Would it have killed him to add a color to the part he's supposed to see through? Secondly, and this is a problem with most helmets, taking it on and off creates damage on the head of the figure that it's put on. The figure itself looks nice. I like the subdued color scheme. There's one thing that bugs me a little, but it's fairly trivial. I don't like it when figures have their waist piece in a different color than the rest of the body. I can't help but think that this underwear is on the outside of his pants. Look, just because it works for Superman doesn't mean it works for everybody. That's right, you're getting crotch shots this week. I sure have a classy show, don't I? Anyway, the figure came with the Cobra Condor Z25. While a lot of aircraft in the toy line have some basis in reality, this one really doesn't. Retroactively, it sort of resembles the drones we have nowadays. Sure looks goofy though. It does have the cool feature of splitting into 2 separate planes, each capable of flight and landing on their own. Must be useful for the Aero. If he's about to get a missile up his tailpipe, just separate and let the poor schmuck in the gunner seat deal with it. See ya, wouldn't wanna be ya. The file card mentions just how tough these hombres are, by stating that, unlike some other wussy Cobra pilots, who were surgically altered to withstand higher G-forces, these guys just learned to lift weights and take the pain. Okay, I knew little about G-forces, so I did exhaustive research. Meaning I went to Google. But that just confused me more, so I went to Wikipedia. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't matter how well a pilot could take the pain, as the G-force would push his blood down to the lower part of his body, depriving the brain of oxygen until he passes out. Weightlifting, or basically anything that strains his muscles, would help getting more blood to the brain though. The Aero has the distinction of appearing in the very last ever issue of G.I. Joe Special Missions. He appears on the cover, and the story is even called Condor, even though he isn't in it all that much. The Condor is tasked with destroying a brand new stealth fighter base that Joseph set up in, I don't know, Istan. Oh wait, I actually do know this time. It's in Punta del Mucosa, a country bordering a state under Cobra's influence. The bombing run is 99% successful, meaning all but one stealth is destroyed. This one takes off to engage the Condor. Long story short, the Condor has him dead to rights, but, as is becoming painfully usual in my reviews, somebody saves the stealth at the very last possible moment. In this case, a drone from a space shuttle saves the day. Just go with it. I'll get in this when I eventually review this comic. Aero Viper is featured in the first Deke cartoon story arc, Operation Dragonfire, where he flew Serpentor to his troops, who were in the middle of betraying him, and then joining him, and then betraying him again. Look, if Cobra had a Facebook, most of their relationship profiles would be set to "It's complicated." In both the cartoon and the comic, his characterization can be summed up as "dude who got shot down." Poor guy, at least the AVAC got a fake victory. Well, that's about it. Oh, and in case you're wondering why I didn't show you the Condor toy, well, it's because I didn't have it as a kid, and I still don't have it. No, it's fine. I never liked it enough to bother tracking it down. See you next time, everybody. Huh. I wonder if any of my planes can separate. Let's see. Come on! Come on! Oh God. Oh, what have I done?